Edition of Midday is Chad Moyer.
Chad Moyer with you on the Rural Radio Network. Let's take a little deeper dive into the markets here on a Midday Wednesday. And joining me, it's Mike Zuzolo from Global Commodity Analytics. Mike, first of all, just kind of your thoughts on the day's trade so far. Just slightly higher in the grains, seeing some strength over in livestock as well. What's the attitude of a Wednesday trade, would you say?
I would say my attitude, at least, Chad, is a little bit of a disappointing price action for the wheat and for the grains and soybeans as a whole, because we're still showing on the noon GFS model, the weather is still looking very dry for most of the Western Corn Belt and the hard red wheat belt heading through Easter weekend. My thought was that the trade had tried to price in a lot of precip earlier this week, and that their need was to get that precip taken the price back out of it, and in other words, get the market premium back into the price action. But we've got hard red wheat only up about 3 to 4 right now, so maybe they're going to wait until after the weekend, after we come back from the 3-day holiday. So that's my general mindset right now, is hoping to see a little bit more of a weather gear to be found in the price action to the upside, with wheat leading.
All right. Now, there are a couple of significant milestones that are being seen today. A record high in feeder cattle and a record high in gold. Are those connected, or is it coincidence? What do you think?
I think they're connected loosely. And what I mean by that is that record high in gold is, I think, connected very strong with the fact that we're back near the 3-year lows in the U.S. dollar index. It looks like to me that we have seen tariff concerns return here and resurface after a brief pause earlier this week. Those two things are probably helping commodities that have tight supplies and still very good demand, and maybe don't have as much susceptibility to U.S.-China trade. But I think that is only a supporting feature when it comes to the feeder cattle. I have to say the cash-led market, I think, has returned with force, and I think that's the primary driver for this new record high, and that has allowed us to get a new 2-week high in the live cattle. The feeder fat spread now is at yet another new record high. If we close here on the week and on the month, of about $84 premium April feeders over April fats.
Well, we had the ethanol numbers. Looks like production was down by about 1%, but stocks were down as well. And we had been seeing some sales, on the daily reports. So anything, fundamentally usage-wise, you're watching in the grains right now?
Yeah, I think this is a key point about the more disappointing trade. And in the corn specifically, the bull spread, the old crop, new crop spread, the July D's corn spread, hitting some pretty key support levels, having fallen about a dime from its highs, and maybe a little more from those report day highs from late last week. It would seem to me that the fundamentals, both export and ethanol that you bring up, would suggest that we need to keep that July premium to the December, especially if we're going to stay dry in the Western Corn Belt in the next week or two, as the Nebraska, Kansas farmers are really putting a lot of corn in the ground right now.
All right. Thanks so much for the insight. Again, Mike Zuzolo, Global Commodity Analytics. You can get a 2-week free trial of his newsletter. Just mention Rural Radio Network when you go online to globalcomresearch.com. Again, globalcom with 2 M's, research.com. Do remember, trading of commodity futures and options does involve substantial risk of loss, might not be suitable for all investors. This is the Rural Radio Network.